Good afternoon guys, F4H Rosso here with another video. Today we're going to be doing a daily race and jumping straight into it. Bit of a hastily arranged one this. I didn't anticipate recording this evening, it's been a very busy day, but I had such a good race in this one I thought it'd be criminal not to share it with you guys. We're going to be tackling Brands Hatch, which for some reason seems to be throwing up some absolutely incredible races recently, in the Peugeot RCZ Group 3 Road Car, which is kind of a weird name. It's not really a Group 3 car, it's more of a road car with some race tyres on it that handles and performs more like a Group 4, so a bit odd. But very fun race this one. Trust me, you're going to want to be sticking around to the end because this race, it ramps up significantly. Plus, I'm going to crack out some world-class editing skills, and you're not going to want to miss those. But in true Brands Hatch style, we don't make it easy for ourselves. Massive mistake into Druids. We are so far wide, and quite rightly, Aaron is straight through. Mugs me on the exit of Druids, gives me nowhere to go. And for him, all of his Christmases have come at once in January, and he's now definitely looking at breaking away off into the sunset. But we're hopefully not going to let that happen. We're going to be doing a very similar video here to the one that we did the other night, where we stalked Zany Wabbit down, eventually forcing him into a bit of a mistake. So that's the plan here, the strategy here. Whether it works out like that or not, we'll have to find out. But at this point, basically, I'm swearing a bit inside my helmet, my metaphorical helmet. I don't actually wear a helmet when I drive, guys. Well, that would be pretty cool slash sad, I don't know. Either way, I don't wear a helmet. But yeah, not particularly happy with myself at this point. Seem to making too many mistakes recently. So yeah, point to prove. But we're hunting Aaron down at this point, keeping an eye behind us as well. The gap basically 4/10 either way, so as I said in a previous video, that rear view mirror is really deceiving in how close the car behind you actually is. I mean, at this point, it looks like I'm way closer to Aaron ahead than the Spaniard is behind me. In actual fact, the gap is pretty much identical. So we've got to keep our wits about us on this one. And as you can see at the moment, Aaron is having the race of his life. Well, I don't know if he's having the race of his life actually. Kind of selling him short a bit there. For what it's worth, Aaron was extremely quick in this race. Was not expecting his level of pace and consistency, so massive shout out to him. He definitely kept me on my toes in this one. As you can see, the Spaniard behind me not letting me have a moment's rest either, kind of keeping half an eye on him behind whilst trying desperately to match Aaron's early pace up front, which has been difficult. Again, he's pulling out a little bit of a gap. He's extended it up to 6/10, 7/10 as we approach the end of the second lap. He's doing extremely well so far. I've actually found that a lot of the best racing in GT Sport so far has been in these one-make races. You tend to get a field sometimes in the Group 2 and Group 4 stuff that's a little bit strung out, or people using different cars. Sometimes throws up great kind of puzzles where you have to kind of figure out where a certain car's strengths and weaknesses are, but there's nothing quite like the leveler of all using the same machinery. And it's exactly the same, in this race. We're all pushing the same vehicle. Obviously we've all got our different little ways of driving it, our different quirks. Maybe some of us are using different brake balance setups or different levels of traction control and things like that. So it's they always throw up really close races, these one-make races. I mean, the Lexus one recently was a fantastic example of that. Again, this one's going to be no different. The car itself is pretty decent as well. I wasn't expecting it to be as fun as it actually is. I mean, it's a Peugeot. No offense to any Peugeot owners out there, but it's not. Peugeot RCZ is not a car that strikes me as something that would be. I don't know. I feel like I'm digging myself a hole here. It doesn't strike me as like a racer's car, I guess, but it is extremely fun. It's extremely fun. A good car to chuck around, plenty of power, and it handles pretty well as well. So it was a pretty fun car to drive. I enjoyed pushing it. It was very difficult to get those last few tenths out of it. I mean, as I said earlier on in the video, very close to the top 10 stars on this one. I was 100th of a second off, which was a bit disappointing, but to get those last, you know, few tenths out of the car was hugely difficult. And Brands Hatch is pretty narrow. It's difficult enough as it is without a car, you know, that is so difficult to push to the maximum. I felt like I was forever searching for, you know, time in all the wrong places, I guess. I think the key to driving this car well and to maximising that speed is just to be patient with it. I found myself trying to accelerate too early in different corners and things like that. But obviously, not that I've waffled a bit. In that time, we've caught Aaron up a little bit. He's potentially starting to feel the pressure that we're putting on him. So one thing that I try and do in all races, as I said in my earlier race at Brands Hatch, it's all about trying to control the battle on your terms. But as you'll see, as we round the left-hander to start the 5th lap, here we go. Look at that! Some top quality picture-in-picture action, and the reason that we're going to do that is this race is going to come alive. There's going to be a basically full lap battle between myself and Aaron, who's gone defensive. He knows I've got the run on him into paddock. Very difficult corner to make a move on this one. You'll see sometimes the British touring car drivers slinging one up the inside of paddock, but very difficult to replicate that. So I've gone for the run out of paddock and into Druids, and we're going to drop it down 2 gears up the inside of Aaron and try and get on the power earlier. Side by side, going down to Graham Hill Bend. There's nowhere for me to go here, so I'm going to brake early and try the undercut. But unfortunately, on the power, we just get a little bit of wheel spin, and it kind of ruins our run. So we're going to go again for the same kind of strategy into Surtees. Early on the brakes, we're going to try and maximise the run up the hill as close to Aaron's rear bumper as we can possibly get, and hog that lovely slipstream. Again, into the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. There's not really anywhere we can go, so again, nice and early on the brakes, try the crossover that works so well on Zany Webbit. But Aaron's defended it well, he's leaving us on the outside, so again, we're going to go early on the brakes for the cutback, and this time it's worked. We've got track position, and unfortunately it's going to be a bit of a difficult one. We both go for the same piece of track, and the kind of grass has pinched Aaron. He's got 2 wheels onto it on the outside, and unfortunately it's put him off into the wall. But fantastic battle, so close to one another for so long without touching, which was, you know, absolutely brilliant. 2 guys, you know, racing to, you know, a ridiculous pace really for a race. I mean, that 1:29.5 that was the fastest lap is close to, you know, basically just half a second off top 10 pace, and Aaron was given as good as he got in that one. No quarter given. Both of us equally as much deserving of winning that one. I think he had a fantastic race, but an absolutely awesome race. I felt like I had to record. Brands Hatch once again throwing up an absolute cracker. Next up on Sunday, we're going to do a stream, so feel free to join me for that one. Not quite decided what we're going to do yet. Perhaps a tutorial stream. A lot of people have asked me to do certain things, so we'll try and fit those into a stream rather than separate videos. As always guys, thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give a quick click on that like button, or maybe even, you know, join the ever-growing list of subscribers, and I will see you all on Sunday.